What is up, Broncos fans? The Denver Broncos show back here again to do another video. In this video, I'll be recapping the Broncos' 31-24 win over the Kansas City Chiefs last night on Thursday Night Football in what was one hell of a game. This was probably one of the greatest football games I've ever seen personally. I would say definitely one of the greatest games in Denver Broncos franchise history. And just a crazy finish. I mean, I couldn't even fathom what had happened when it happened here in this game at the end for the Broncos to win it. I mean, just a crazy game. Broncos moved to 2-0. I believe Kansas City is now 0-7 against us since we acquired Peyton Manning. Just a great game, crazy game, great win. And again, wasn't the prettiest of performances by the Broncos, but at the end of the day, we got the job done. Now, looking at some of the good things we did here in this game, starting on the offensive side of the ball, we finished with 299 total yards of offense here against the Chiefs. You like seeing that. Obviously, we had much more success in this game than we did last week against the Ravens of just moving the ball in general down the field. We were a lot more efficient offensively here in this game. And we had 238 yards of passing here against the Chiefs. So we did a much better job of being more aggressive offensively, taking some shots down the field, and just attacking the defense vertically. We didn't really do that at all against the Ravens. We did that quite a bit here against the Chiefs. And how can you not talk about the offense in this game without talking about Peyton Manning? What a performance from number 18, especially given all the criticism that he's faced over the past week and a half or so. Huge game out of Peyton Manning. I obviously know he had some weak spots here, and obviously he didn't get off to the best of starts. But I think all things given, he played pretty damn well here against the Chiefs. Again, he goes 26 of 45 here in this game for 256 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and 1 interception, which, of course, was a pick six. But Peyton Manning, I thought, played phenomenal at the end of the second half, and, of course, at the end of the game there in the fourth quarter on the last drive to tie the game at 24. But starting with the end of the second half, he was huge there for us at the end of the half to get us back in the game, to tie the game at 14 before the end of the first half. He went 7 of 10 for 70 yards and had 2 touchdown passes, and that was right after he had just thrown the pick six to Marcus Peters, and the Chiefs had all the momentum in the world. We kind of changed our offensive flow up a little bit. We did more hurry-up offense, more no-huddle offense, kind of let Peyton Manning, I guess, off the hook, if you will. I think Gary Kubiak kind of let the leash off, if you will, a little bit. And you saw Peyton Manning was able to make some quick throws, made some decisive decisions, had the beautiful touchdown pass on the quick slant to Emmanuel Sanders, and then the next touchdown there before the end of the first half to Virgil Green in the back of the end zone. Just a huge plays by Peyton Manning there to end the first half. Again, the last drive of the game, he was absolutely phenomenal as well. He goes 5 of 10 for 75 yards and a touchdown on that final drive, again, to tie the game at 24. And then him and DT just had it going there on the last drive. He had a beautiful back shoulder throw to Demaryius Thomas. He followed that up with a beautiful dart on a post to Demaryius Thomas. And then, of course, Demaryius just made a great play on, I think it was 3rd and 8, so it was a huge catch on 3rd and 8 to get the third down conversion over Marcus Peters. As a little curl around, he kind of just boxed him out, used that big body of his to secure the catch. That was a huge play. And then, of course, Peyton Manning throwing the touchdown pass, which was an absolute laser to Emmanuel Sanders on that post route. Beautiful stutter step by Emmanuel Sanders just to get open. And then, again, Peyton Manning just put it on him. It was a beautiful throw there by Manning again on the last drive. He was just phenomenal. Again, him and DT were huge in that final drive to tie the game up at 24. Obviously, he could have played better. He did have some poor moments. Again, the pick six to Marcus Peters was a terrible throw. He threw it way behind Demaryius Thomas. I don't even think Demaryius Thomas saw the ball before it was even picked off. So just a bad throw by Peyton, again, way behind Demaryius. And he had a couple passes in this game that were nearly intercepted. He probably had 3 or 4 passes that were nearly intercepted by Ron Parker, the safety for the Chiefs. He had one play where I think it was bobbled by Peters and then bobbled by Amir Abdullah, the other safety for the Chiefs. Like, both of them had a shot to intercept the pass. And he missed a couple throws deep. So obviously there's some room for improvement for Peyton. But given the criticism, given the way he started this game, I thought he played pretty damn good. And what matters the most is he delivered when we needed him the most. And Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders obviously were phenomenal in this game. Both of them played really well, especially DT. Obviously kind of had a sluggish first game and bounced back hugely here against the Chiefs. Demaryius Thomas finished with 8 catches for 116 yards here against the Kansas City Chiefs. Might have had the biggest catch of the game. Again, was on 3rd and 8 with under 2 minutes to play on that final drive of the game. Just kind of boxed out Marcus Peters on that curl route and just went up, fought him for the ball, was able to grab it away. Probably the biggest catch again of the game for us. Huge play by Demaryius Thomas, and he just delivered on that last drive. He had 3 catches for 54 yards alone on that last drive. Obviously, it was huge. Again, had a beautiful back shoulder catch from a great throw by Peyton Manning, and ran a beautiful post route that Peyton Manning put it right on him. Beautiful throw there by Peyton, as I mentioned earlier. So Demaryius was huge, and again was great on that last drive. And then Emmanuel Sanders also finished with 8 catches, but had 87 yards and of course 2 touchdown passes. Obviously, the game-tying touchdown, beautiful route by Emmanuel Sanders there to set it up with the stutter step on the post, and then the other touchdown pass again was on the quick slant. Was able to dive in the end zone, bobbled a little bit, but still was able to secure it and cap that drive off. So again, great performances from our 1-2 punch on the outside. Again, Thomas played well, especially on the last drive. Sanders was big, and then you finish here in this game offensively. That's probably the biggest takeaway for me. You go 3 of 3 in the red zone. You finish drives off. You scored when it mattered the most. And again, for such a sloppy start and just a sluggish performance last week in Baltimore, I thought we had a really nice bounce-back performance here against the Chiefs. And our offense, at the end of the day, regardless of how you feel they played, they delivered when we needed them the most and quite frankly, when it mattered the most here in this game against the Chiefs. Now, looking at some of the bad things we did offensively, once again, struggled to run the ball. We only had 61 rushing yards here against the Chiefs. Defense, we only averaged 2.8 yards per carry. Again, a lot of that had to do with our interior offensive line. Luis Vasquez played one of probably his worst games I've seen as him as a member of the Broncos since we signed him a few years ago. I thought he played horribly. He got destroyed a few times in this game, especially in the run. And Matt Paradis, I know the Broncos like him. I like Matt Paradis. I think he's a tough guy. He's a solid center. But he also got bullied in this game, especially by Jay Howard, the defensive tackle for Kansas City. He was all over the place. He was a huge reason they were able to stop the run here against us in the game. He was making plays in the backfield. He finished with 7 tackles. And again, a lot of our struggles in the run game came down to our offensive line, primarily our interior offensive line with Paradis and Vasquez. They both just played so poorly in this game. And our pass protection wasn't great again. I thought the offensive line played well down the stretch. But for the 4 quarters, the duration of the game, our pass protection was poor once again. We gave up 3 sacks here to the Chiefs. Peyton Manning got hit 7 times here in this game. Justin Houston had 2 sacks of his own here against us. Again, a lot of that had to do with Luis Vasquez. He just played horribly. Ryan Harris didn't play well, gave up a sack there in the first quarter. And Evan Mathis just got absolutely destroyed by Justin Houston there. I think it was in the 4th quarter, which led to a sack of Peyton Manning. So our offensive line once again struggled. Hopefully this group can, I guess, just make minor improvements week in and week out, gain some chemistry. Hopefully with this win they can build off that, but they played extremely poorly once again. And I'll keep saying that I think we really need to start Max Garcia at the center spot. I think he not only adds some size but some physicality, and he's a much better run blocker than Matt Paradis. So maybe that's an adjustment we can make there. But offensive line played poorly once again. And our third down offense wasn't great. We went 6 of 16 on our third down conversions. Definitely going to clean up some things in terms of play calling on third down, and just execution could have been better there. But all things considered, again, our offense delivered when it mattered most. Looking at some of the good things the Broncos defense did here in this game, once again, we forced turnovers. We made plays happen, and quite frankly, even though our offense delivered when it mattered the most, our defense is once again the reason we were able to win this game. And I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. I think I said this last video, but if we're going to win a title, if we're going to be a championship contender, it's going to be on the back of this defense, not this offense. And once again, our defense delivered. They had 5 turnovers in this game. 2 of those 5 turnovers came in the red zone, which were huge. The first drive of the game, I believe, for the Chiefs, they were driving, they were about to score. David Bruton comes in, forces a fumble on Jamal Charles. Then on a punt return by DeAnthony Thomas, Benny Fowler, one of our 5th or 6th wideout, able to punch the ball out from him, force the fumble there. That was huge. Of course, Aqib Talib coming up with another huge interception, but before the start of the second half, at the end of the first half there, which was huge, get Peyton the ball back, and we scored again, tied the game at 14. Just a great job again by Aqib Talib, reading Alex Smith's eyes the whole way and jumping the route. beautiful play once again. Talib with a huge interception. Then you have Malik Jackson there in the fourth quarter, hitting Alex Smith's arm mid-throw, forced the ball to kind of wobble in the air, and then Chris Harris is able to come down with the pick. That was huge. And then obviously the play of the game, the reason you win the game, made by your defense. Brandon Marshall coming in, 30 seconds left, forced another fumble on Jamal Charles, and then Bradley Roby with the great wherewithal and just, I guess, in a great position, great timing by him to just kind of catch the ball in stride and return the fumble for a touchdown and obviously score the game-winning touchdown, win the game for us. So just a great job once again of our defense showing their ability to not only make plays and make turnovers, but capitalize on opportunities. That's why the Chiefs lost this game. We did everything in the world to hand the Chiefs this game, and the Chiefs just chose not to win. The Chiefs just chose to give us way too many opportunities, and at the end of the day, it bit them in the ass, and we were able to capitalize on them. And again, that starts with our defense just being so opportunistic. It starts with Wade Phillips and his aggressiveness as a play caller. And a lot of these turnovers we are forcing are because of the scheme switch we made. Now we're in the 3-4. It puts players like Von Miller and DeMarcus Ware in better positions to wreak havoc and make plays. And again, we're just an opportunistic defense. 5 turnovers is just ridiculous. And again, that play at the end of the game by Brandon Marshall, Bradley Roby was just absolutely insanity, and just a excellent play by our defense, once again winning the game for us. Our pass rush was great once again. We had 4 sacks here and 7 quarterback hits against the Chiefs. DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller were tears on the outside again. They had 5 of those 7 quarterback hits between the 2 of them, and they also had 2 of the 4 sacks. They were great on the outside, obviously, but I thought we also did a great job of collapsing the pocket interiorly. I thought the interior pressure from Antonio Smith and Malik Jackson, especially in the fourth quarter, both of them also had a sack, was huge, and that allowed Vaughn and DeMarcus to be effective on the outside. Our third down defense, phenomenal once again, did a great job of getting off the field. Kansas City goes 0-7 on their third down conversions here in this game. That's huge. Go 1-4 in the red zone. Again, you do a great job defensively of stealing points away from them, forcing 2 turnovers in the red zone. Did a great job of sealing the edge as well and containing the playmakers on the outside for Kansas City, like Jamal Charles and Macklin, not letting them get to the outside and make plays. Did a great job of just kind of bottling everything up in the red zone defensively, and again, then getting two huge turnovers to steal points away from the Chiefs. And even though Jamal Charles had a big game against us, we did a great job, again, forcing him to fumble the ball. He had 2 fumbles in this game, and we did a great job, I felt, of bottling him up in the second half, forcing him to run through a lot of trash, a lot of traffic, if you will. He had a lot of success in this game of running in between the tackles, especially early on, but in that second half, again, we just did a great job kind of bottling him up, swarming to him, and again, forcing him to run through a lot of different guys and through a lot of trash, so to say. So lastly, just talking about some of the bad things we did here defensively, again, we struggled to stop the run against Kansas City. We gave up 144 rushing yards here and 2 rushing touchdowns to the Chiefs offense. Again, a lot of that damage was done by Jamal Charles, who finished with 125 yards and a touchdown. He averaged 6 yards per carry against us here in this game. Of course, he had that beautiful 34-yard touchdown run in the second quarter where he just froze Shane Ray. Just a poor play by Shane Ray. Easily could have made the tackle, but again, he just kind of got froze by Jamal Charles. Rookie mistake that I'm sure he'll correct. And obviously Jamal Charles was able to get to the outside then after he was able to free Shane Ray, get past him. And if you let a guy like Charles get to the outside, it's pretty much a wrap. But again, we did a good job in the second half of bottling him up, again, forcing him to run through a lot of traffic. And you know, he still played well. He had a lot of success, especially running up the gut, running in between the tackles early on in this game. We got to do a better job our interior defensive line and getting a push and being more physical up front. So definitely some things to improve on, but you did see the Broncos make some adjustments and, again, do a good job of bottling him up in the second half. And lastly, penalties, especially defensively in this game, really were tough to see. We had 8 penalties in this game for 85 yards. That's way too many mistakes. A lot of those yards, free yards that we gave the Chiefs, again, came from penalties from our defense. Von Miller had an offsides penalty in this game, as well as an unnecessary roughness penalty in this game. Malik Jackson and Darius Kilgo also had unnecessary roughness penalties in this game, and DeMarcus Ware had a roughing the passer penalty in this game. Those are just bonehead plays you got to kind of limit. I get playing through the whistle, and I get defensively you want to be a little chippy, you want to be physical, and we definitely played that way in this game. but you got to limit some of those mistakes. Again, that's just way too many penalties. We gave the Chiefs way too many free yards. They were able to have some successful drives because of those big 15-yard penalties we were getting defensively. So got to clean some of that stuff up. But all in all, just a great game, great win for the Broncos. Again, now 2-0. We beat the Chiefs here for a 7th straight time with Peyton Manning as our quarterback, 31-24 in Arrowhead Stadium on the road. Very tough place to play. Just a great win for us, huge win for us. Definitely can be kind of a season-defining moment, I guess, or kind of a season-changing type win. Definitely can gain some huge momentum from a performance like this, and to win again in the fashion that we did is just so crazy. Definitely going to build off this, and this could definitely be a demoralizing kind of season-changing loss for the Chiefs. So this is just a huge win for us. Get a divisional opponent out of the way, beat them on the road, and just get that division win in general. 2-0, 1-0 now in the AFC West is a great win. Leave me a comment below, guys. What did you think of this game? Obviously, it was insane. How did you think the Broncos played? How did you think the Chiefs played? And who you thought played the best on both the offensive side of the ball as well as the defensive side of the ball for the Broncos? So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. As always, guys, I really, really do appreciate it. And again, great win for the Broncos, 2-0. Now get a little bit of break. Looking forward to seeing us play the Lions next Sunday night. Yeah, just great to be a Broncos fan right now. Guys, enjoy the games on Sunday, and I'll see you guys next week for a preview of the Lions game. Go Broncos.